Call this meeting to order. The IDA's regular meeting. Stephen. Well, it's in one sense, it's a chair. Yeah, it does. Question is before. I think so. As long as it's safe for you guys, you should have had it. Consider it an executive session. Choose to do that at any time during the meeting. Prior, this time, after we were public comment, if you're doing, you're being, we could suggest this maybe executive session to consider items like A, B, C, D. Not that. Executive session, employment history, agency staff. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
It's always my case. All right, we are now at number 4 on the agenda, the approval of previous meeting minutes. Have a motion to that effect, please?
I'll make the motion.
Motion made to accept the meeting minutes of November 8th, 2023. Second? Second, Sherry. Any discussion? There being none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay? Very good. Number 5, committee reports. I am going to, with forbearance of the committee chairs, if there are no reports to be made, we can dispense with that part of the meeting.
Could you please, you need to appoint a nominating committee.
I'll do that. I have to do that, in a different way. Here's my proposal. The nominating committee is going to disappear after this meeting. Normally, the governance committee is the one that makes the recommendations for next year's officers. However, with 3 new members coming on, you have people that don't know people and have no understanding of their business and what they do and whether or not they're good at what they do. So I am proposing that the governance committee meet telephonically to come up with a slate of officers for next year.
Prior to the
Prior
31st
to-
of December.
Prior to the 31st of December. We will then indicate that in the January meeting, so that if you are not in agreement with what the nominating committee or the governance committee has recommended for officers for next year, we can just go ahead and do everything from the floor. That would include all 3 new members. So therefore, I think it would be incumbent upon those who may be looking at next year to let Madeline know if they're still interested. And then to have probably, how's your schedule working calendar-wise?
Pretty good.
Okay, then Jeremy and I will get together with Madeline and Dan, who will still be a member until December 31, to come up with a slate. And we can do that by telephone. All right, Jim?
Okay.
Okay. So thank you, Maria. Anything further in the committee area?
I've got nothing to report from economic development, but I would be curious to know the status of any land transactions. I don't know if we do that in executive session.
We can do that in executive session, especially if there's,
You're talking about Bombay?
Yes.
We've provided.
Okay for open session?
Yeah, because the only thing that's, we've already approved the basic terms of it, so it's all public information. We've provided them a draft contract language for a land development agreement that would kind of wrap in all these different elements of them looking at potential benefits from us, but also the sale of it and including potential early occupancy. So they have that. We're waiting for their feedback.
Okay.
And at some point, the terms would be the same, but a lot of the details have to be worked out. That land development agreement would come back to the board for approval.
Good. Good.
So,
Great, thanks.
very good. Any other committees that have questions or anything? Okay, then we'll move on to number 6, treasurer's report. Paul?
Nothing really to report other than we're again approaching year end and trying to tie up, all the loose ends, prepare for the auditor. I think we'll be able to have the auditor in probably, 3-4 weeks earlier than we've had in the past.
Good, good. And by the way, thank you and I think you should be recognized for the investment program that we've had this year. It's been pretty successful. Thank you. CEO report, Jeremy.
I'll try to keep this
No, we
brief.
need a motion.
We need a
for the
motion.
treasurers.
Sorry.
See how brief that CEO report was? Maria ended
Are
it.
you done?
I'll make the motion.
A second.
Thank you.
Discussion? There being none, all those in favor of accepting the treasurer's report, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay? Now,
Now are we good?
Yeah.
Okay. I was reflecting on when I was hired back in 2017. There was a clear desire amongst the legislature and the board of directors that the agency had to be more proactive in its approach to assisting businesses and the communities in Franklin County, and that got me excited. And that's why I came to the IDA. And there's no question that as a group, we've been successful in that endeavor. And when I talk about group, it's the staff and the board. And so I wanted to just say thank you to the board in general for your support, especially when we've tried to take some leaps forward that are kind of new for our agency or for Franklin County. And also to the team. We've got Kelly's not here, but the rest of them are here. And I just want to say thank you to all of them for everything that they're doing. Last couple months for me have been particularly busy with some of these pilot projects that are coming. Kind of knew it was going to come, and I kept telling these guys, like, get yourselves settled and do your thing, because I won't be around. I'm going to be otherwise engaged, and they're doing it, and it's been a relief. I also want to individually recognize our 3 departing members. I know there's resolutions on the agenda, but those are board resolutions of recognition. So I thought I want to make sure I took my chance to say thank you first to Dan. He's not here, but it's like he's leaving us wanting more of Dan. And I hope someday in the future, when his circumstances allow, he could be part of the organization again. He jumped in, and Madeline knows this, with the governance committee in particular, and really
Well said.
his expertise and experience were really solid, and he jumped right in. He assures us that his replacement is better than he is. I don't know if you have an opinion on that,
Way
Nate.
better.
You probably don't want to say anything. So we're looking forward to having her, but Dan will be missed. Madeline's, it's been 3 years since Madeline was first appointed to the board, and right in the middle of the pandemic. I don't know what she was thinking at the time, but 3 years later, I really grown to appreciate her approach. She always says, I'm going to ask a question, and I might be the only one, and I don't know about the rest of you, but we're all better because of the questions that you ask, Madeline. Like, it's like you just have the self-confidence to say, this may be a stupid question. It never is a stupid question. And so I've really appreciated that. I've been better as a result. And again, with the governance committee in particular, you've helped me personally and professionally. And as a group, you've helped us all get through some tricky situations. So thank you, and we hope that best wishes. You've got a legacy. I first met Steve in 2007 when he was still working for the park agency, and ever since then I've considered him a mentor, and I'm sure I'm not the only one who recognizes his expertise as far as understanding the regional and state bureaucracy and economic development landscape, and how valuable that has. And to have somebody like that to help us kind of navigate those sometimes choppy waters has been really, really valuable. I really have appreciated that Steve is never afraid to defend our agency or staff or what we're doing, no matter what. And I think he's been a fierce advocate for what we've been trying to do. And personally, Steve, I've really appreciated that when we've, as an organization or me personally, have had missteps or made mistakes, you've helped me learn from those, but in a way that where I keep my self-confidence when I'm all done. And I'm not sure everybody, I think I don't know if that's an innate skill or something you've developed, but it's really been helpful to me. So you've previously promised that I can still reach out to you for anything, but I hope you offer that up to the entire group as a continued friend of the agency. So thank you. That's my report.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Comment back? Dave? So I think we have a particularly strong board at this point in time. I regret leaving it. It's not surprising to me because of some past history. I thought I frankly would have been replaced last year, so I'm glad for the extra year. And you know, change, it's different, but you know, it's not always, it doesn't necessarily need to be negative. We get new people coming on, and we'll be hopefully as loyal and helpful to the organization as the three of us have been. But I think we are a really strong board at this point in time. You know, I wish everybody well, and thanks so much for the kind comments. That's been good. I've really enjoyed working with you very much.
I'd like to add my personal thanks, really, to all of you, those leaving and those still remaining. I've been fortunate to work in many different organizations, you know, from the military to the school, in politics. But this is a collegial group. I always felt, that's why I tried to take a special type of, how should I say it, acknowledgement and recognition of the fact that here there's nobody that's number one and the rest is other sport. I'm glad for the way we deal with each other, and nothing is ever taken for granted. So let me start with Mr. Ehrman. Steve and I have known each other since 85?
Yeah, maybe you're 83, 84.
I don't know, but it's been a long time, and it's always been a real pleasure to work anytime that I've been able to work with Steve. Not only a personal friend, and a friend of his family, and likewise, but to be able to say he's not only my friend, but he's a great professional. I never met Madeline until she first came aboard, but I do know her husband's family. Watson and his wife were just wonderful people. And when I heard the name Flurry when her name was first proposed, I said, I wonder if that's, and it was. And I'm glad for that. I'm pleased for the kind of expertise that she brings to what we do. And with Dan Mills, he was, how should I say, a delightful find. And I'm sure Mrs. Mills is going to be picking up in the same direction. Dan seems to be a real steady, strong guy in terms of, you know, thinking and action. So please, if you will, when you're sitting around the dinner table or cracking a beer with your brother, tell him how much I appreciated it. So we then can move into old business. Is there any old business which we just discussed? Okay, new business. We have following resolutions. Let me take resolution number 2023-21, continuing health and dental savings accounts. I'm
Can I
sorry.
interrupt for a minute?
I'm sorry.
Were we supposed to introduce some other resolutions from executive session?
No.
No?
They can be, if you want to keep them in order, they could be introduced right at the end of these.
Yeah, we could do that.
If you want to.
Okay. And the other question, keep in mind that the addition we have.
Yes,
to
yes, okay.
put. Resolution 2023-21, continuing health and dental savings accounts. Resolution to be put on the floor by Sherry. Second?
I'll second.
Second, Nate. Discussion? Anyone?
Same as last year.
I'm sorry?
Yes.
They're all the same.
There being no discussion, all those in favor, we'll do a roll call vote.
Okay. 2023-21 for health savings accounts, Sherry Boye, James Ellis.
Yes.
Steve Irwin,
Yes.
Madeline Flurry,
Yes.
Archie McKee is absent, Dan Mills is absent, Nate Manette,
Yes.
duly adopted.
Thank you, Maria. Now, resolution 2023-22, recognition of service. Steve Irwin.
Could ask for motion to do all three at once, right?
Well, we could, yeah. Is that possible?
Yeah.
Okay, and let's do all three at once. Resolution 2023-22, 23-23, 23-24, recognition of services in the same order, 22 Irwin, 23 Flurry, and 24 Mills. Motion to, yeah, Sherry. Second.
I'll second.
Second by Nate.
Sadly.
Any discussion? There being none, do a roll call vote on that.
Okay, so the roll call for 22, 23, and 24. Sherry Boye.
Yes.
James Ellis.
Yes.
Stephen Irwin.
Yes.
Madeline Flurry.
Yes.
Archie McKee is absent. Daniel Mills is absent. Nate Manette.
Yes.
Duly adopted.
Thank you. And based on what has already transpired in this meeting, I'll assume there's no need for an executive session, is there?
Do you want to add,
That's not what
Oh, we
I'm
gotta
finding.
add the others.
Yeah.
We haven't.
Yes.
This was not on the agenda per se, when we voted to accept the agenda. I will ask, I'll ask the members of the board if you wish to consider, the appointments and reappointments that we discussed earlier.
Yes.
Yes.
Sherry?
Yes.
5-0, so we'll accept it. And first of all, let's do, how do you want to do this?
We've
We got separate,
right in order, right?
Yeah.
You see the
Okay.
numbers up
Yeah.
on top.
First.
I wanted to make sure that we got them all.
Yep, you're good.
Yep.
That's the good.
23,
25, 26, and 27.
yeah, 25, 26, 27, they're all in order.
And then you'd ask for motion for each one of them, and if there's any amendments to the language, you
That's what I was looking for. Matt.
deal with those accordingly.
Okay, considering resolution 2023-25, employee compensation. You all have that in front of you?
Is there,
Thank
is there any, huh?
Yes, I do.
Point of order, I guess, is that the right thing? Is
Yeah,
there
we
any
got 25
reason
first.
for these resolutions, is there any reason to have the motion made by somebody who's gonna be on the board come next month, or does it not matter?
I don't think it matters.
I don't think it matters.
No, doesn't matter, I don't.
Right.
According to what I know about Robert's rule, I don't think it matters. Okay, therefore, resolution 2023-25, moved by,
Do you want me to read it really quick since it wasn't in the packet, just for the record?
well, I didn't know anybody else. So we all have a copy of it though.
They do.
No, some of us haven't seen them.
Oh,
Do you want me to just read it?
I don't
Go
need to
ahead.
see it, I just need to know what it is to record
Whereas in
it
accordance
for
with the
minutes.
policy of the FCA IDA Board of Directors, the Board of Directors establishes compensation for all employees, therefore be it resolved, the salary for the operations manager shall be increased 3.5% effective January 1st, 2024.
Okay, we'll do them individually.
So, you just need it.
I'll make that.
need a motion.
I'll make
I'll
that,
make the
Motion by Sherry,
I'll second.
second by Madeline. Any discussion? There being none, the chair will assume that we're ready for a vote. Maria?
Okay, so 2023-25 it is.
Yes.
Sherry Boye,
Yes.
James Ellis.
Yes.
Stephen Irwin.
yes,
Madeline Flurry.
Yes.
Archie McKee is absent. Dan Mills is absent. Nate Manette.
Yes.
Duly adopted.
Okay. Resolution 2023-26, to reappoint the chief financial officer and authorize the extension of employment.
I'll
Jeremy?
make the motion.
Okay. Motion by Sherry,
I'll second.
second by Nate.
discussion.
Yes, there is discussion because of a possible change in, number 2.
Could you read it, Jeremy?
So, the clause number 1 reappoints Paul Ellis as Chief Financial Officer for a 3-year term beginning January 1st, 2024. Clause number 2 says the Chief Executive Officer is hereby authorized and directed to extend the employment agreement subject to a satisfactory annual performance evaluations with the CFO that includes a term of 3 years beginning January 1, 2024, and with a 3-year salary schedule as indicated on the resolution.
Good.
Therefore, we have an amended motion, amended resolution. Any discussion? We gotta move the adoption first of 2023-26.
She already did.
Sherry did that.
Yeah.
We had a second?
I
Sherry,
second.
Okay.
Yeah.
The reason I'm asking this is because I have to declare before the roll call vote that I am abstaining because of my personal relationship and family relationship with Paul Ellis, who is subject to this resolution. So Sherry, please go ahead and call the roll.
If we just, for discussion, just, can I just say, I think it's really important that that clause be added because of what have been personnel policies by the board.
Yeah.
And it's important that we do things that are consistent with those policies. And of course, everybody's futures with the organization depend on satisfactory performance evaluations. We certainly want to break from that process.
Any further discussion? There being none, go ahead, Sherry.
Sherry Boye,
Yes.
Sure.
James Ellis is abstaining.
Abstain.
Yep, Steve Erman,
Yes.
Madeline Fleury.
Yes.
Archie McKee is absent, Dan Mills is absent, Nate Manette.
Yes.
So it is duly adopted.
We got 4 out of 4.
Yeah,
So
we have
it's
4,
abstention.
that's what we need.
That's why I had to count. All right. Resolution 2023-27, excuse me,
I'll make it. Moving it along.
to authorize the extension, I know, you want to get to your happy hour. Authorize the extension of the CEO employment contract.
What is
Moved by
it?
Sherry Boye. What's that?
Authorized extension of CEO.
Thank you.
Mhm.
You got a second?
Sherry
I'll
Mills.
just second.
I'll second.
That's good.
Second by Nate Manette. Discussion. I suspect that number 2 will be added,
We'll have
added
to
language
amend it.
as,
Same.
what's that?
Yeah.
Added as we
Number
did.
2 says authorized and directed to extend employment agreement subject to satisfactory annual performance evaluations.
Right.
Mhm.
Good, so
With
same
the
as,
CEO.
same as with the earlier one.
Yes.
Good.
Okay, Sherry
Anything
Boye.
further?
Oops.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Are we ready for roll? Sherry Boye,
Yeah.
James Ellis.
Yes.
Stephen Erman.
Yes.
Madeline Fleury.
Yes.
Archie McKee is absent, Dan Mills is absent, Nate Manette.
Yes.
Duly adopted.
Good.
Thank you. Thank you, Maria. Let's see. Public comment. Any
Jim,
public comment?
Did we do these other resolutions having to do with Tupper Lake and?
No,
That's
that's
the
the
EDC.
EDC.
Oh, we're in
Next.
IDE
There
now.
being
Sorry.
I
Anything
make a
further?
motion, we adjourn the meeting.
adjourn this part of the meeting. Motion by Sherry, second by
I'll second.
Nate. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Right.
Date of the next meeting is January 10th.